Hey YouTube, you know of a piper. It's a beautiful day today. Man, we had 2 days ago the humidity was unbearable. Yesterday wasn't really that nice of a day, but it was nice and cool out. Put a fan in the window and cooled everything off, and got really, I think it was, woke up this morning, it was like 15 degrees out. It was like, oh wow. So the humidity's completely gone now. Sun shining, little breeze. Coffee. The sun on my face here. Today we're smoking the Peterson 2012 Christmas pipe. Grain. Got some nice grain on it. Serious bird's eye. Won't focus though. This trick won't work too close. Got the little tree on it there too. It's sort of like the Lebanese pipe. The Lebanese have the cedar tree. Smoking Sam Gawith Balkan Flake. Absolutely love this stuff. It's one of the first, it was the first Lakeland I tried. It's got some thick flakes too, man. These flakes are really thick compared to other flakes. Compared to the other flakes, they're really thick. They're absolutely glorious. It's got it dried out. Got it dried out quite a bit. I let it go overnight. I got to make sure wherever I'm drying it out to, there's no humidity, because this time of year, I did this in the winter, but this time of year you got to be careful. If unless you have central air in your home, if you leave it out to dry, if it's humid, it's not going to dry. So I got a dehumidifier in my basement, so I usually dry it out down there. It's a controlled environment. I'm using this pipe because I find that this tobacco is because the flakes are so thick, it doesn't break up very good. It's not like the other flakes. You got to put a little bit more TLC into it, and it's soaking wet. So now lots of people, dry out their tobacco, or lots of people will maybe just smoke it out of the tin and go, oh, it's just perfect in the tin. And I've never bought a tobacco. I personally like my tobacco really dry. If you've seen how I smoked it, most of you would think I'm crazy. I was at my local B&M, and the guy was saying that he dries his tobacco. He dries the shit right out of it. So I tried it, and wow, what a difference. Certain tobaccos you can't do that with. Like the sticky aromatics rely on that tacky whatever. Some tobaccos don't taste good when you dry them out too much, but I've never had a problem. But here's one of the things I have with this. I don't know if you can see that. Try to get see the coal. It doesn't burn. Kind of gets hot spots in it. So if I smoke this in depending on, this is sort of a narrow shaped bowl. It's deep. This bowl is deep. It goes pretty deep. And if you smoke it in a wide bowl, you'll probably get hot spots, because when you break it up, it tends to have a little chunky. It's a little. You got to kind of pack it a bit looser and leave room for tamping. So that's why a nice big bowl like this, without over, a ribbon cut or another flake, I'd pack a little bit tighter than this, but I have this a little loose. And then I use the golf tee because I can get in the angles better and work that coal around in there. As much as I love the Zippo, it doesn't really, it's hard to aim the flame. See there, just trying to push it to the side to get a nice even burn. It's only burning on one side, but a little bit of work. It's kind of the fun part sometimes too. Is this tobacco here is I find with the Sam Gawith flakes. You have to, it's more of a, it's better to just have, it's a good sit down smoke. It's good to have some time to give it some extra attention. It kind of needs it. Now I know some people that pisses them off because they just want to load a bowl and go, but I like to just sit back and relax, get caught up in the moment. That's the whole reason I smoke it. And if I'm out somewhere doing something and I'm going to smoke a pipe, then I got to make sure that I've got some time where I can sit down and relax and not, it's the only way I can do it. I don't need to smoke it all the time. But yeah, I find these deeper bowls work a lot better for this stuff. And as much as I really like this pipe. It looks really nice and it's very comfortable, but I absolutely despise the condensation. I absolutely despise that gurgle. So I've got these pipe cleaners aren't really pipe cleaners. They're more of a craft thing. I think they're not even cotton, and that's all I have, but they're super thin, so I can really get them in there and get them around the corners. They go in effortlessly. Get some of that moisture out of there. It's some hard angles right there. It's gonna gurgle. But this is more of a mild English or Balkan, whatever they call it, I don't know. I find this tobacco very leathery. Leathery, not oily tasting like 10 Russians or Blue Mountain or Balkan Blue, whatever they call that stuff, and Pirate Cake. They're all oily. They're all good. The 10 Russians and the Pirate Cake I'd have a hard time telling them apart. They're both great. What I tend to do with these two is I will see it kind of burn into the one side there. I don't know if I can get that on the camera. The shadow, it's really bright now. All this white's washing it. It was a good slow smoke. But what I tend to do with the ash, if I can't get it to burn even and it burns, gets a hot spot and goes down, I'll just let it go out and I'll just break a little bit of the ash away and just dump out some of the white ash very carefully, and then just take the sides and push down. And that kind of will just, that's why I like this, and I can take it and I spin it like that, and I push down on where it's at and kind of push it over and then relight it. Not a lot of heat either, just a quick little flash. Get it going. Now it looks like I'm going to have to do it with this and with a wider pipe, a wider bowl on that would make it, would exaggerate that, it would make it even worse. I've tried smoking this stuff in another pipe with a wider bowl and I didn't really enjoy it. So finding a good match between your cut. I wouldn't really say it's the flavor, it's more of a matching your pipe to the cut. It's probably, in my eyes, is more important than matching a pipe to a specific blend. If you have a certain brand of tobacco that you favor, and they all have the same type of cut, they'll smoke better in a certain pipe. Some tobaccos just smoke great no matter what. The flakes are a little bit more tricky. And especially with this stuff, there's to try to get it broken up evenly. I don't break it up wet. I dry the flakes and then I break it up. And get down, fucking cat. Get off of that screen, you little bastard. Climbing the screen. Thing weighs about 15 friggin' pounds probably. Guy's heavy as hell. Anyway, yeah, it's when I break this stuff up, I find it very like inconsistent. You'll get anything from chunks to ribbons to powder. So you got to be careful with it. And with this here, it was I took some stuff in the bottom of the. I got a couple of flakes left there. I could probably get 2 bowls out of that, and then I got a full can here I haven't opened yet. It doesn't really age that well. It mellows out. I find with English blends, I don't age my English blends. And I'm not a big fan of Virginia. I do have some Virginia tobacco in there I haven't smoked in a while. I don't smoke it very often. And I've got an unopened can of, I think, the Mississippi River, but where I don't cellar my tobacco. I don't need to because I smoke mostly English. And I do have a can of 10 Russians I've been sitting on for a while, and I got to, So it's not that I don't do it, but I'm experimenting, and I find it really doesn't make much of a difference. But I took some ribbon pieces and I put it in the bottom, and then took some really fine powdery stuff and put on top, and I kind of did it like that when I layered it. I'm getting down towards the bottom, so there was a lot of powdery stuff in the bottom, and where I dry my tobacco out quite a bit. I find that happens too. But it all gets smoked. It's not like all powder, don't get me wrong. And then the last can, I just dumped it into here, and the can before that I dumped in, so I had probably 3 or 4 cans worth of dust in there. Yeah, but the Sam Gawith flakes, boy, they're wet. I dry the shit out of my tobacco. Really dry the shit out of it. Most of you guys wouldn't smoke it the way I dry it out. Try it sometime. You should just try it. Take a bowl and let it sit out until it's nice and dry. Not till it breaks apart, but it doesn't stick together. If you pinch it, it won't stick. But the Sam Gawith flakes, you need a little bit more. I tend to find they work better in a deep bowl, not a wide bowl, but a deep one, because it tends to burn a little uneven. So you need to spend a little bit of extra time. You want to have a tamper where you can get in around it like that. You want to really be able to work it down in there. That little curved surface helps. Concave. The golf tee really helps out. A roof nail, or siding nail, I should say, would probably work pretty good too. But I do like the Sam Gawith, so that's what you get. Stuff smells great too, tastes fantastic. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya.